So, as is often the case, I found myself with a very simple and what should have been easy to solve problem in the form of what do I do for a street map without an internet connection or without data on a smartphone? I grew up in the 80s, and this was long before everyone had a little computer in their pocket, and we used to have these nifty things called street maps, and they were big folded up pieces of paper, and you'd keep one in the glove compartment of your car. And if you were lost, you could open it up and look at it. And very much like Google, etc., it had enough detail that you could get right down to the nitty-gritty of neighborhoods and figure out precisely where the fuck you were. And Google Maps is great in this regard. It's got a lot of detail. But unfortunately, because Google is a hyper-capitalistic entity when it makes them money, and a bullshit hyper-communistic entity when it makes them money, they do a lot of nonsense, like include a lot of extraneous information that I don't fucking need. Not to mention all these stupid overlays, which at this point in a phone, you can no longer swipe away. I don't need to know Lakeshore Hockey Arena, or Shore Acres Country Club, or Dunkin' Donuts, or Romig's Tavern, or Chick-fil-A. I don't need any of that. I need this. Fucking streets. That is all. Well, if you don't pay the monthly fee to have a smartphone, and why the fuck would I? I don't use it to text or call people. I do that for free. Or carry around a folded up paper map, you're kind of fucked. You can download offline maps with Google, but they expire. And what are you going to do if you have a solar generator and some solar panels and the fucking world ends and you still want to have a map, but Google's not there to update your offline map anymore? Well, as is often the case, I just spent 2 or 3 frustrating hours searching and searching and searching online. And since everybody's become such creatures of habit who takes what we're fed uncritically and doesn't bother to consider alternatives, every listing, every forum entry, everything on the internet is people either trying to give me something I completely don't need, like high resolution maps that I can print to paper, which of course are not scalable, as paper is an analog technology, or ways to use Google Maps. And again, my problem is I want to have a high resolution PDF that I can scale in this much that doesn't rely on the internet. Unfortunately, there is no such thing. However, I did find the next best solution, which is Here We Go Maps. Now, apparently, according to people, this used to be what Nokia preloaded with their phones. And like Google Maps, you can scroll right in and get a large amount of detail, which is what I want, and it's a map. And unlike Google, there's no fucking advertisements. There's no locations of Chick-fil-A and bullshit. It's just what I need. And if you download the app from either Apple or Google and stick it on your phone, you can download whole US states worth of offline maps. Now, unfortunately, there are still these little overlay type nonsense things, but it's still way better than Google. And as previously stated, it's got all the detail you could need. Online, they do seem to have little restaurants and shit. I didn't find that to be the case on my phone. But even if it is and I overlooked it, that's still a compromise I'm willing to make. Because now I have exactly what I wanted in the form of a completely scalable, zoomable street map. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, Here We Go Maps. And the URL actually is reversed, so it's wego.here.com. When you download the offline maps on your phone, it might be a little bit confusing. You just have to scroll up, and it actually has a section that says Use Offline, and you can just click it on. Hope that helps.